Well, it's evening. You're going to notice a heck of a lot of smoke out there. We'll get to that. It's been kind of a good news, bad news kind of day. So it rained again, which is supposed to be good. However, you're noticing probably the smoke there, smoke down there. Like, the smoke is pretty thick and it's stinky. So rain should have been a good thing, right? However, it's been a light rain and it's been accompanied by a lot of activity in the atmosphere. Like, a lot of activity. Okay? So, there have been a few lightning strikes, which explains the smoke. There are brand new fires that have popped up. And the other thing with... There's ducks over there. But the other thing with rain, it did slow down our ability to get stuff done, and the smoke is a little bit overwhelming, like it's bothering my lungs. So we didn't get as much done as we wanted to for those couple of reasons. More rain, and now the smoke. Also, fish flies. We live near a lake, and when you live near a lake, like we do, fish fly season is upon us. So there's also fish flies, which is, it is what it is. But all of these things kind of came together to prevent us from getting too much done. We did move the pink coop. I can't find the screws. I have a big box of screws. Where are they? That's a good question. I don't know. I do not know. So, chickens. So we moved the pink coop over here. I need to get screws so that I can screw that piece of board on. That board on and cut that board. I can cut the board. I have the saw. But I need the screws. I need the screws so I can screw that board on. And then we can move the chicks. The chicks that are too big for the baby barn, we want to move them into the pink coop. But I need the screws so I can cut that board and make a ramp because our old ramp died. I actually don't know what happened to the old ramp. I really just am not sure what happened to the old ramp. I don't know. So, we don't have the chicks out. We're going to get them out in the morning. Hi, Silverado. I was just making sure you weren't dead, man. Not dead? Just making sure you weren't dead. Because, looking dead. She's not dead. He's not dead. You guys are not dead. We're just making sure everyone's not dead, which is excellent. Hi, puppies. No more puppies went home today. It's like midweek, and people typically take their puppies home on weekends. So it's like 3 weekends of puppies going home. Typically puppies go home like Friday through Sunday. Sometimes they go home on a Monday, but usually it's weekends, which I get. Most people have weekends off, so they want to take puppies on weekend, right? So they can at least have a couple of days at home with the puppy before getting back to their regular scheduled programs. But, yes, puppies are just chilling. One's chilling in the food. Yeah, you chilling in the food. One's chilling in the food. Others are fighting. Doing puppy stuff. Puppy stuff is puppy stuff, after all. Love puppy stuff. So, tomorrow's not supposed to rain. Of course, today wasn't supposed to rain, but here's Wildfire. And over here's Autumn. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetie. Any chance you'll let me pick you up? No. No. All right, I won't chase you. Don't worry about it, honey. I'm not going to chase you. But tomorrow the goal is to get the chicks moved. I really don't know where my box of screws are. Like, just gone. My screws are just gone. I don't know. I had a box of screws, now I don't have a box of screws, so I don't know. I don't know what to do about that right now. That's okay. We're not going to worry about it. However, I need to find some kind of screws. So we're going to have to just, dig through a couple of things to find screws. And the boys are playing D&D again, but they're playing online with their friends. So they're playing an online session with their friends. So they're having fun doing that tonight. But mostly, this is the problem. The smoke. There were a couple of lightning strikes. Like if we go up here, you can almost see the direction it's coming from. Let's go up there. But it's really not great. It's been such a dry summer. Like the grass is greening up a little bit because we had so much rain yesterday, but there wasn't enough rain to prevent a lightning strike from catching things on fire. So it was a pretty active storm. In fact, we weren't in the storm warning zone, but yesterday to the south of us, there's like tornado warnings and stuff. So what we'll do is we'll turn the camera around. Okay, so first let's go up here so we can see better. So if you look in that direction, okay, and then we turn around, we look in that direction, you can see how much thicker the smoke is that way. Okay, that direction is where the fire is. So nobody's thinking it's going to be like we're going to have to evacuate or anything. It's just really thick smoke. And it's bothering my lungs quite a bit. I grabbed the baby bunnies and took them in the house just because of how thick the smoke is. Because bunnies have delicate lungs anyway, babies more so. And I just don't want them overwhelmed with the smoke. So we're worried about that. And it's actually bothering me like a lot. My throat is really dry. My nose is really dry. Also, I found more gray hairs. Awesome. There's mosquitoes. But you've probably noticed that I have gray hairs anyway. But there's a whole bunch more. So this summer is giving me gray hairs. The summer of wildfires and random weather is causing me to get more gray hairs because hi. So these guys are awaiting their new homes. They're so cute. I'm still kind of hoping that the red colored boy, that someone doesn't want him, that they back off. He's already spoken for, but I'm hoping that the person who's spoken for him decides, I can't handle a puppy right now, and I get stuck with him. Though, I keep saying, I'm not keeping a puppy. Not on purpose. Mostly because... There's Arwen. But mostly because you have to know your limits. And I am currently trying to get a little healthier with my autoimmune disorders. We have changed my medication and I feel crummy. So, because we're doing that, because Arwen is sitting here half asleep, which has nothing to do with anything, but because of that, I don't want to raise a puppy when I'm not 100% ready and committed, right? I don't want to do that. So, because I don't want to do that, because I don't want to try doing that, the thing is about that, I want to go check and see if that bird is still broody. But because of my health, I don't want to let down a puppy. Because puppies take time. They take effort. Hi, Mr. Water Goo. They take time and they take effort, right? Of course they do. Because they're puppies and you have to train them. Yes, even livestock guardians, you have to train them. Hi, Spark. Yep. white mass in the corner, that is Broody Silky. She's sitting on eggs. I don't care. You want to hatch eggs? Hatch eggs. Just don't let the critters eat your babies. Whatever. I don't care. She wants to hatch babies. I don't care. They won't be, well, they might be pure. She hangs out with a silky rooster. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway. Puppies require a lot of training. And I'm not necessarily in the headspace right now where I can train a dog. And I don't want to let a dog down. Because most of the time, when you see the, dogs that are out of control or that are untrained, it's the failure. Most of the time, it's the failure of the human. It's our fault. I didn't have the time or didn't have the presence of mind or whatever, right? There are a lot of reasons why you might just not be able to do it. But that lets down the dog, right? Because that's how you end up with dogs needing rehoming or in shelters, because the humans who were responsible for the dog didn't have the time, energy, or inclination to properly take responsibility for the dog and train it. And I just finished, well, not just, but I spent 2 years training tequila and vodka to make sure they were up to snuff. And they're fantastic dogs. They are fantastic. And I wouldn't trade them for the world. But I'm not sure I'm up for that again. So that is why we're not keeping a puppy. Otherwise, I would have. Right? But I'm just not up for it right now. This year needs to be about my health and managing the animals we already have. And it's not like we haven't added new animals. We've added rabbits. We've hatched our chickens. I haven't bought any new birds this year. Right? I haven't bought any new birds. I haven't bought any goats. I am planning on buying goats. I do have a plan, but I have to get a great pen because I only want to get my goats as babies. So what I have to get is I have to get a buck prospect and a weather friend for him. And then let them grow up, make sure I like him as a buck prospect. And get some does, some doelings, some baby does. And let them grow up and make sure I like them as doe prospects. And then breed them. That's what I gotta do. And that takes a while. And first I gotta build all the enclosures, which I haven't done yet. The enclosure I'm supposed to be building is the rabbit one. So we're gonna build an 8x16 rabbit pen. Or here, let's walk over there. For the girls. And then that frees up that kennel that we're using for the puppies right now. So that frees up that kennel so we can use it for if we have more puppies or if we get some sheep. Tristan really wants a couple sheep. All that good stuff. Right? So we're gonna build a pen right here because this is our path. That's our path, right? So we're gonna build 8x16 pen right here for the rabbits. And then eventually we're going to expand that 8x16 pen back that way. So I don't want to do it right now with all the mosquitoes. It's too mosquito-y. We're going to do it in the fall. We're going to do it in the spring, and we didn't get it done in the spring, and now there's too many mosquitoes. So we're going to do it in the fall. But that's the plan. That's the plan right now. So we have stuff to do. I'm not building a goat pen right now. But that's the plan. I want to get myself, I think I'm going to I'm not sure whether I want to go with fainters because I do love fainters. Like, Arwen is so precious. The smoke is getting thicker, by the way. But Arwen is so precious. Like, I love her. And I loved her mother, Lily. And I love her sister, Sadie. My best friend has Sadie. My best friend owns Sadie. They're fantastic babies. Fantastic goats. I love them so much. So the real thing is, do I want to go with fainters who I adore? Do I want to go with pygmies, who I also adore? Or do I want to go with something like a La Mancha for the milk? The benefit would be, now we don't intend to breed Arwen. She's very small, even for a fainter. But the benefit of fainters would be if she were to accidentally end up with the buck, which we hope doesn't happen, but accidents can happen, and she were to catch, at least the babies would be pure, because she is purebred registered. So at least the babies would be quality, right? So I don't know yet. I'm probably going to end up going with fainters, just because there's something special about the fainters. There's something lovely about fainting goats, and we love them. And I love pygmies too. We had Gandalf, and he was a fantastic. We've had other goats, but Gandalf is the pygmy that stands out. But I'm probably going to end up going with fainters. I adore them. So, yeah, I think not next year, but the year after, I'm going to look for a buck prospect and some doelings. And just, but the buck has to have a friend. He has to have a weather friend, because if I'm not going to house him 100% of the time with my fainters, he can't be alone. So, anyway, that's just what we're thinking today. I have got to get inside because, man, the smoke is actually getting a lot thicker. Like, look how much thicker it is. It's really getting thick now. Yeah. It's bad. Not good. So, yeah, I'm going to get back inside. I have asthma, and this isn't good for my asthma. But you just take it easy, right? That's the thing. You take it easy. You try to stay out of the smoke. So, maybe we'll get some more rain and it'll clear it up. Not likely, but what can you do? Anyway. I got a mosquito in my mouth. Lovely. Hazards of living in the country. Anyway, that's going to be about it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.